joining, and happy Thursday, happy Thirsty Thursday for this special YouTube live stream, Norwegian Bliss Q&A live, your Norwegian Bliss cruise questions answered. And you guys might see a little device here on my neck area. So I finally got a microphone, guys. So let me know how the sound is coming. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. Hopefully the sound quality is coming along okay. And again, this is my first official live stream from home where I got this cool little banner and I got my microphone. So I'm ready to go, guys. Hope you're doing well. 1 second here. I'm gonna go here real quick and just gonna check up on everyone and make sure everything is good. All right, I'm actually gonna change my background. Give me 1 second here. There we go, perfect. How's everyone doing today? All right, looks like the ads are taking some folks. But again, thanks everyone for hitting that thumbs up as well, guys. Appreciate your support. And again, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. Welcome, welcome. We'll give them about a minute or two to get started. And again, this is the official, first stream with my little banner in the background that my sister got me. So yeah, again, this stream is really dedicated for Norwegian Bliss. But again, if you have other cruise questions, guys, feel free to ask those as well. I love to answer your cruise questions. But again, for the cruise I just got off last Saturday, about 5 days ago, it's any questions from Norwegian Bliss, please let me know. I have a lot of amazing content coming your way here pretty soon. But yeah, okay, like I said, guys, here we go. Let me know how the audio quality is. If anyone's here, let me know. Give me the audio quality is good. Is it much better? Really, the whole idea behind this wireless microphone I got is, when I'm on cruise ships, if I'm at a bar or if I'm walking around, there's a lot of background noise, right? So this should hopefully alleviate that problem just a little bit. You guys let me know what you think, if the audio is coming okay. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the chat as well. Yeah, we'll give everyone a minute or so before we get started. And we're just kind of hanging out here, guys. Again, talking Norwegian Bliss. And yeah, it was a phenomenal cruise, guys. Like I said, the 7 days went by so quickly. And I got to meet some amazing cruisers on board, made some new friends. Again, we all connected previously on the Facebook group as well. And it was phenomenal, right? And then, of course, going live every day with you guys. A lot of folks that joined on my YouTube lives every day from Sail Away on Saturday, June 24th, up until just doing sailways from like the Sea Days, from Sitka, Alaska, Icy Strait Point, even going live at Endicott and Dawes Glacier. That was pretty epic, right? So yeah, it was phenomenal, guys. I mean, we had a great time, and I can't wait to go on my next cruising adventure here very, very soon. Hey, John, happy Thursday. How you doing today? Thank you so much for joining. I was hoping you'd be coming on today, John, my fellow Norwegian Bliss cruiser as well. John, I know, thanks again for going to the ads. I think a lot of folks might be in the ads right now. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Again, this hour is dedicated to you, and it's your opportunity to ask me any questions you have about the Norwegian Bliss. So let me know what kind of questions you guys have, and I'm gonna try to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Just to make sure that yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. Hey, Mark the Shark, how's it going? Yes, what I miss? Yeah, thanks again, Mark and John, for joining as well. Again, like I said, this hour, I'm only for about an hour, right? So about 4 p.m. Pacific, I'm gonna have to hop off because I have some other commitments. But this really is an opportunity for you guys to ask me any questions that you have about the Bliss, right? So, John, I see you have a question coming here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is, if I miss a question, because the thing about that phone is, like, if I miss it, it's I can since I'm at home, I can actually see it on my monitor, whereas if I'm on a cruise ship, I can't see it, right? So, John, let me see your question. Did you happen to see the weather that Bliss and Encore are experiencing this week? I did not, John. Is it good? I hope it's sunny. I hope it's not bad weather. But John, do you have information as to how? Okay, in mirror calm waters. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's awesome. I'm a little jealous, but hey, that's cool. Like I said, you can't predict the weather in Alaska, right? Like I said, 1 week could be sunny, next week it could be raining. If you go later in the year, it could be snowing. No cloud, not a cloud in the sky, and almost no wind. Wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. And like I said, John, you know this, right? And I think folks who are joining as well. I've been to Alaska 8 times. I've seen everything from 30 degrees in snow. I've seen 40 degrees in cloudy. I've seen 50 degrees in cloudy and overcast and showers. I've seen 60 in showers. I've seen 70, and even, you believe it or not, guys, I've seen 80 degrees in Alaska. This actually happened in August 2021 when I went, and it was 78 degrees. We were in Skagway, Alaska. I had to go and change into a short sleeve shirt and shorts. And I'm like, what? I didn't plan for this, but I brought one pair of shorts just in case, Alaska weather's unpredictable, right? So yeah, that's great to hear, John. I'm really happy that they're getting amazing weather. So, John, I want to ask you, since you're the first supporter and community member who told me to get a wireless mic. How do I sound? How's the audio? Is it coming clear? Let me know how it sounds, John. Does it sound much better than my normal YouTube live streams? And I know we don't have all the background noise and stuff, but let me know if this sounds good to you so far. I got this wireless mic and I got the adapter and everything. So I'm actually excited to take this on my next cruise, which is coming up very soon. So stay tuned, guys. But yeah, let me know how the audio, guys. Is it great? You're answering my question. I was going to ask you about your weather experience in Alaska. Hey, that's all perfect. Yeah. So to give you a little background of our experience in Alaska, right? So it wasn't like a washout every day, right? So I'll give you guys kind of like the rundown. So basically on Saturday, June 24th, when we left, it was 80 degrees and sunny, about 75 degrees and sunny, beautiful skies as we sailed away. Now, of course, when we got to the ship, it was cloudy. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so cold because I was wearing short sleeve shirt and shorts, right? So the sail was beautiful. We got to see Mount Rainier and everything. It was absolutely amazing, right? It was beautiful. You guys remember from my YouTube live stream as we sailed away from Seattle, right? The first day at sea, it was cloudy. It was raining on our way to Sitka, right? It was raining like all day. I'm like, oh, here we go. I hope you guys enjoyed the sunny weather because you may not see it for a while. We got to Sitka. It was coming down. It was like literally raining like constantly in Sitka, right? We left Sitka. The next day we went over to Icy Strait Point, and Icy Strait Point was not too bad. So it was pretty good. Actually, no, I think we went to Juneau after that. I'm trying to get my itinerary right. So Juneau was decent weather. It was like cloudy, not raining, not super sunny, but just kind of foggy and cloudy, but no rain, right? And then after Juneau, we went over to Endicott Armados Glacier. And as you guys remember from my live stream, it was beautiful. The sun came out, and even though we didn't make it to Dawes Glacier, we still had an amazing experience going and sailing into Endicott Arm, because you guys remember from my live stream, right? That watercolor, the emerald color, was absolutely beautiful, right? So that was an amazing experience. And then of course we went to Icy Strait Point. It was raining there. It was so funny, like the hours that we were at Icy Strait Point, it was raining, and literally all aboard was at 2:30 p.m. And then right when people got on board, it started raining. I'm like, oh great, thanks Mother Nature. And then we did our live sail away from Icy Strait Point, and of course it started raining then, right? But and after Icy Strait Point, we went to Ketchikan. Ketchikan was beautiful weather, and a lot of folks got off the ship, so I basically had the whole pool deck to myself. So I went down the water slides multiple times. I had a hot tub myself. I had the drinks flowing. I got to meet some other cruisers. We had a good conversation in the hot tub. So that was really cool because there were literally like no one on the pool deck. It was phenomenal, right? But the weather was beautiful. And of course, the last sea day heading to Victoria, it was sunny, gorgeous skies, guys. So basically, again, 2 days of rain, 2 days of clouds, a couple days of sun. Overall, it was great. Not raining every single day, but again, if you can go to Alaska and you get really lucky with sunny, beautiful weather, be happy, because it's not common that happens, right? So I'm gonna check out your comments here, guys. Um, the sound is great with the lavalier, no room echo at all. Perfect. Well, John, I'm happy to hear that. And again, thank you for the recommendation. I also got a message from another Alana Zingan, who's another content creator as well. She reached out to me about some options as well. But then I did a little research for myself, and I didn't want to invest like too much money on a mic, right? But I wanted to invest a decent amount of money, right? So I got this from Amazon. Got shipped in like a day or two, and here I am, guys, talking loud and clear. And like I said, the true test will come when I take this on my next cruise, right? So stay tuned, guys. That's coming up. And we're in the Caribbean very soon, so we're gonna test this out at the bars and outside while we're cruising in the Caribbean, and with the wind and the ocean and all that, with the wake view behind me, right, guys? You guys know this is my favorite view, right? And again, I know my sister's on right now, but shout out to my sister who made this for me, cruising with JT. Of course, you guys know I love my favorite part of any cruise ship is the back, the aft of the ship, looking at the wake, right? So this is why it's kind of part of my like my logo and brand and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I love the wake view. Again, I can't wait to see how this mic works while I'm on a ship, right? So, but yeah, guys, like I said, that was that weather on Norwegian Bliss. Let me know other questions you guys have about specifically the Norwegian Bliss. If you have any questions about Alaska, please do ask those as well. Like I said, this hour is for you guys. I'm here to just talk away like I normally do, right? So for folks who may be new to my live streams, you may not, well, you may know this, but I love to talk, right? I love to talk about cruising. I'm very passionate about cruising, and I love to basically, share that passion and excitement with you guys, whether it's for a cruise that you're coming on, or a cruise that you're going on, and you're thinking about booking a cruise. I love to, create excitement around your cruising experience, and that's what cruising with JT is all about, right? So really, I want to be the most I want to be the YouTuber that really excites you, educates you, and entertains you for your upcoming cruise vacations, but also while I'm on a cruise as well, right? So again, I'll bring you guys all the live experiences. Again, cruising with JT, you're cruising with me via live streams. Again, if the internet's good, I will be coming to you live every day. So any other questions, guys? I know we have about 7 folks in here. Thanks again, everyone, for hitting that like button. Again, if you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe as well, guys. Any Alaska questions, guys? Like I said, we have an hour together. So about 4 p.m. Pacific, I'm gonna hop off. But what other questions do you guys have about Norwegian Bliss? Do you have any questions about dining, entertainment, activities on board? Any questions about the Norwegian Bliss or Norwegian Cruise Line? Let me know. I'm here to answer them for you as best of my ability. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the questions coming, guys. Let me know. And again, I got my buddy right here, Coco the Bear, which I got from Norwegian Cruise Line, and of course, right under Coco is my other friend, Lady O. Right, that's the real Caribbean. But again, Coco the Bear, representing for Norwegian. Again, I picked up as kind of like a souvenir for my daughter when I went on the Encore Glacier Bay. I actually connected with a friend today who booked an October cruise to Glacier Bay on the Bliss, and he's super excited about the potential for snow. How has Bliss changed for you over multiple cruises? So, John, specifically on the Bliss, so I've been on the Bliss 2 times, right? So the first time I went on the Bliss, it was in 2018 during the 3-night inaugural out of Seattle, right? It was a special sailing. I got an invitation to. I got to see all the celebrities like Pitbull and Whelan, the gentleman who actually designed the hull of the ship itself. I got to meet the ship builders. I got to see Frank Del Rio, the president CEO, and there's some other celebrities there as well. So when I went on the Bliss 5 years ago, I was kind of blown away because I was like, oh my gosh, this ship is amazing. I have 3 days to experience as much as I can. And of course, 5 years ago, I wasn't doing this cruising with JT adventure, right? So for me, the Bliss it was just as beautiful as it was 5 years ago. Of course, I got a very, very small sampling of the Bliss 5 years ago, right? So I saw Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys was fantastic as always. The food has been phenomenal. I'm trying to remember everything that I did 5 years ago, but it went by so quickly because like it was literally a blur because it was 3 days, and we were at at meetings and conference sessions and just kind of panels and stuff, right? So there's a lot of kind of like activity and engagement sessions happening at that time, right? Whereas the Bliss I just went on, that was just kind of like a content creating vacation, right? So for me, the Bliss is an amazing ship. If you are thinking of going on the Norwegian Bliss to Alaska, I highly recommend it. One small request I have for you guys, and again, if you take it for what it's worth, guys, if you want to go on the Norwegian Bliss to Alaska, please do, but just try to go to the Glacier Bay if you can. So if you want to go on the Norwegian Bliss, I recommend it. But if you want to go to Glacier Bay, try to go early in the season or end of the season. Okay, very important. Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier, like I said, nothing against Endicott Arm Dawes Glacier, but I've been there 5 times and I only made it twice. I'm going again in August on another cruise line, see if I can maybe get to 3 out of 6. So we'll see. But I'm going to Glacier Bay as well this summer. So Norwegian Bliss, highly recommend it, especially the Glacier Bay. If you can't go on Norwegian Bliss, then just go on its sister ship, Norwegian Encore, right? That goes to Glacier Bay every week. So definitely do Glacier Bay. Just trust me, guys. Trust me on Glacier Bay. And I think John can speak I think John can speak on my behalf as well. But hey, look, Glacier Bay is an absolute must, and you will love it. Hey, Lucretia, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining, guys. We got some YouTube members in the house, John and Lucretia. Thank you again for you guys' support. You guys, you probably noticed that I pinned a message again. If you guys want to support me additionally on Patreon or as a YouTube member, this is a little something that you can give to your favorite creators, right? So, Gabe, how's getting off and back on the ships at ports? Now, Gabe, that's a great question. Now, from what I heard, again, I didn't get off at all any of the ports except Victoria. Now, from what I heard from other passengers, is that getting off the ship was a little bit challenging, and I kind of experienced that. I saw the line, right? I saw how long the lines were, and whether it's Sitka or Juneau, and Victoria was just a madhouse. Just because you guys know this, Victoria, we got there an hour, hour and a half later than we expected because of the wind that came, and there was that sailboat that unfortunately capsized, right? So there was a delay there, so everyone was like, "I gotta get off. I want to go experience Victoria." And we got to Victoria like 9:30 p.m. All the board was at midnight. So yeah, the lines can get pretty long. One thing I recommend is for folks who are trying to get off the ship, right? If you have an excursion, you'll get excursion vouchers in your room. I'll tell you exactly where to meet, and you just go with your group, right? If you don't have an excursion, I would wait until the traffic kind of calms down. If you get off at the same time when everyone else is trying to get off, you're going to be waiting in long lines, guys. You're going to have to be, long line up and down the stairs. You're going to be waiting forever. Let the traffic pass. And once they're all done, let them go to the excursions because they paid money for all that stuff. Then you get off the ship, right? If you just want to explore town. Getting back on the ship was also very challenging. I heard from some cruisers that some of the shuttles took forever, like the shuttle wait time was bad. And just I think one of the other I think negatives that people talked about this Bliss cruise specifically was the port times were very, very short, guys. So we were in Sitka. I mean, the port times were like extremely short from what I've typically seen on an Alaska cruise. Like in Juneau, we were there for like 5, 6 hours. I've been to Juneau for like over 12 hours before, right? So, yeah, the port times were very, very short. So be very careful when you're booking an Alaska cruise itinerary. If you want to spend more time at a port, make sure you're looking at the port arrival and departure times. Very, very important, right? So, something to keep in mind. All right, guys, I'm gonna catch up on some comments. Hey, Alana, how's it going? Thank you so much. Hey, Alana, I got a mic. Thanks to you and John for the encouragement. Hopefully, I sound good. Again, the true test will come when I'm on a cruise. But right now, hopefully, my audio and everything is coming along okay. But again, thank you, John and Alana, for the wireless mic recommendations. This little device that's gonna be on my neck. So yeah, going forward, it sounds much better. I did some tests earlier. Like, wow, this is really better. I love it. Um, Beta, hi. Any specific tours for Glacier Bay you can recommend? Beta, no specific tours for Glacier Bay. So one thing that's nice about Glacier Bay is you don't have to get off the ship, right? So your ship, ideally Norwegian Bliss during the Glacier Bay itineraries, and also Norwegian Encore, or even the Royal Princess, for example, that go to Glacier Bay. You literally stay on the ship and you get to see multiple glaciers, and you don't have to do anything. You can be on either side of the ship. The ship will spin around. No tours needed. The Glacier Bay is the absolute highlight of any Alaska cruise in my experience. And again, ports are beautiful, wildlife, eagles, bears, whale watching, all that stuff is great, guys. Don't get me wrong. But nothing in my opinion will top Glacier Bay National Park in Alaska. Alaska is beautiful, but Glacier Bay National Park, hands down, the number one most amazing thing. And again, my experience at Glacier Bay, like in a year and a half ago, when it was snowing there, that alone became my favorite cruise to Alaska, just because that one day. The rest of the cruise could have been terrible, but it wasn't. It could have been, but that one day right there that I experienced in Glacier Bay when it was snowing, it just changed. It's hard to explain, and I know I've shared videos and pictures and stuff, but it just doesn't do justice, guys. Like literally, like you have to go to Glacier Bay and tell me what you think. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my gosh, I cannot recommend Glacier Bay enough. Even in marginal weather, it's amazing. It even gets better with good weather. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, I've been to Glacier Bay 3 times, right? I've seen it in cloudy weather, I've seen it in sunny weather, and I've seen it in snowing weather. So I've seen it all, guys. And I consider myself lucky that I was actually able to be there when it was snowing, because you can't predict snow, right? It was just snowing, and it was like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It was magical. Let's just say that. It was amazing. Shuttles are really challenging in Skagway. Oh yeah, and of course, Skagway has had its own set of challenges with the rock slide issues and certain ships that can't port there. Like for example, our friends at Royal Caribbean, Quantum of the Seas, right? So shuttles can be a challenge. There's a lot of crowds. You guys, cruise ships are sailing 100% capacity right now. They're very, very full. So expect lines, but and just pack your patience. That's all I'm gonna say, right? Just if you have an excursion, get off with your excursion based on the meeting time and the meeting point, and go. But everyone else that's not had an excursion, just wait. Take your time, have a nice breakfast, get your morning gradually start your morning, but wait till everyone gets off. People go on excursions, let them go, then you go. That way you don't have to worry about lines. And if you can, try to get back on at least an hour or two before all aboard time, because what happens, guys, is at all aboard time, everyone like rushes back to the ship, and that creates longer lines, right? So yeah, I was actually kind of surprised at how close to all aboard that a lot of cruisers got back on the ship. I'm like, man, I would never do that. I'm trying to get off the ship at least an hour before, because I'm not taking any chances. I always do excursions through the cruise line. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get that peace of mind because the ship doesn't leave without you. But if you don't have an excursion, or if you're going through a private tour operator, then you're on your own. So just keep in mind, right, that extra cost for an excursion through a cruise line, it's worth it in my opinion. Um, Thomas, you mentioned going at the beginning or ending of the season. What can we expect in October at Glacier Bay and in general? Yeah, Thomas, great question. So in October, now when I went at, and I speak from example, right? Now October, again, I can't guarantee snow, right? But when we were there at Glacier Bay, it was snowing, right? Now, in terms of weather and just overall like sea conditions, it's very unpredictable. We had excellent sea conditions every day. Unfortunately, the last day coming back from Alaska going to Victoria, we hit some really, really bad seas, and it was probably the most rough seas I've ever had in my cruising career. We had about 30-foot seas, and you won't believe this, but the first time ever, I got seasick. About 30 minutes only. I got a little nauseous. Other people, unfortunately, fared much, much worse. They had bags on stairwells, and it was just bad. And I chose to not drink that day, go to the bar or anything, just because like I'm not doing it because I just don't feel right, right? And again, I don't get seasick, guys, but I got seasick. Like it was, I mean, 30-foot seas are 30-foot seas. Like that's gonna get you no matter who you are, right? It was intense because I have video of it on my channel. But Glacier Bay, I think anytime you go, regardless of what month you go, one thing that's nice about Glacier Bay is unless it's just extremely, extremely foggy, and I'm talking about like literally you cannot see anything into Glacier Bay, you may not be able to get in there, but that's unlikely potentially, right? Um, I've been there 3 times. I've made it each time. All the folks I've talked to thus far this year, they've made it to Glacier Bay as well. It's much more open, right? It's much wider to get in, and then you see multiple glaciers from a much closer distance, right? The problem with Endicott and Dawes Glacier is you have a very, very narrow fjord to get to the glacier. Endicott itself is somewhat spacious, but even then the ship needs a little bit of maneuvering, right? But it's kind of tight compared to Glacier Bay. It's like wide open. If you guys go to Google Maps and type in Glacier Bay, you'll see how big the opening is, and then Google Endicott and you'll see how narrow it is, right? So um, Glacier Bay definitely a higher chance of seeing a glacier, multiple glaciers compared to Endicott Arm. And again, like I said, I made a post earlier today about this, guys. Dawes Glacier is beautiful if you make it, right? But even if you make it, it's pretty far away. You guys, there's a special excursion that the cruise line charges you for to get close to the glacier, right? It's like $200, $250 a person to see the glacier up close on a small boat, right? If you go to Glacier Bay, you don't gotta do any of that, right? It's free, right? You just whatever you pay for your cruise, right? Now, I'll give you this: Glacier Bay is a little bit more expensive than Endicott Dawes Glacier for obvious reasons, right? But not like crazy more expensive, right? So something to keep in mind. And again, I will recommend Glacier Bay 10 out of 10 times over Endicott and Dawes Glacier. So take it from me, someone who's been to Alaska 8 times. Take it for what it's worth. I'll pick Glacier Bay. If I'm going to Alaska, if I'm recommending Alaska, I'm gonna recommend Glacier Bay. I had a buddy who wants to go to Alaska. He was looking at Endicott and Dawes Glacier. I'm like, no, don't do it. Go to Glacier Bay. What did he do? He booked Glacier Bay on the Encore. He's going in a few months, and he's gonna have the time of his life with his family. And I can't wait to hear about his experience when he gets back, because I think he's gonna be in for a real treat. All right, guys, I'm gonna catch up on the comments here. Yeah, thanks, Alana. Yeah, I think hopefully the sound is coming good. Let me know how the audio is, guys. Can you give me a thumbs up on the chat, and also hit that like button, guys, if the audio is coming along well. Let me know. Again, I'm gonna go back and watch the replay later and see how I sound, because this is my first time using a mic. I've never used a mic before, guys. So thank you for bearing with me, and hopefully I sound okay. Beta, Mendenhall Glacier. Yes, Mendenhall Glacier is wonderful. It's an excursion that you can do in Juneau, Alaska. I highly recommend it. I've been there 3 times. Mendenhall Glacier is beautiful. You take an excursion, or I think you can take like a private tour to the visitor center. Definitely go check it out there. And again, you can see it up close. You can take like a 10-minute hike to Nugget Falls if you want to get like a cool waterfall experience. It's about a 10-minute walk. Get a nice little mist, nice little spray. Plus, you get closer to the Mendenhall Glacier, so it's pretty cool. I recommend that excursion. Also, if you're not afraid of heights and if you're willing to do it, you can take a helicopter and go on the Mendenhall Glacier. I've never done that. I'm not a big flying person. Like, I don't do helicopters, right? So I've never done the landing on the glacier and trekking with your ice shoes and whatever, right? So, but Mendenhall Glacier is beautiful. So you can see that in Juneau, Alaska, and I highly recommend you do that as well for your excursion in Juneau, especially if it's your first time. You'll love that. And also, there's a tram right outside the dock in Juneau, Alaska as well, which I think is great if you're not afraid of heights. You get some beautiful perspectives and views of Alaska. If you're very lucky to get a nice day, you can see for miles. It's absolutely amazing, guys. Last year, Bliss left 2 passengers in Juneau on my May 22nd cruise because they were late. Oh my gosh, John. I'm telling you, man. Peer runners, and I just don't get, like, people gotta keep track of time. Like, seriously, keep track of time so you just don't miss a ship, because your vacation is ruined after that. So grab a sip of water, guys, real quick. Alana, we've had too many close calls getting back to the ship. That's funny, Alana. Hey, you made it back. That's all that matters, right? But again, yeah, it can be stressful sometimes if you don't do like cruise sponsored excursions or private tour operators, or just kind of wandering around the ship. Because I like to do that a lot, right, guys? I like to wander around the port, just kind of go to shops and local restaurants and stuff like that, just kind of check it out, right? But I'm not really going on excursion. I like to self explore, because I've done a lot of excursions I've always wanted to in Alaska. There's a lot less ice in the water in Glacier Bay compared to Endicott. Exactly, John. 100% agree with you. Thanks, guys, for the thumbs up. Thanks for hitting that like button as well. Appreciate you guys. I'm glad to hear that the sound is coming along well. And I'll have to, like I said, I'm taking this on my next cruise in a few weeks. Against a surprise, right? So stay tuned. I'm gonna take this on my next cruise. It's in the Caribbean. It's gonna be hot. I was looking at the temperature. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be melting, guys. I typically don't go to the Caribbean in the summer, but I got an opportunity to go this summer. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I'll be burning up. And I'm going, this is a nice little warm up for next summer when I go on Utopia of the Seas. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to myself? I tell people not to go to the Caribbean in the summer. And here I am going to the Caribbean in the summer. Ah, the things I do, right? But yeah, but again, it's an opportunity that it's like, hey, I'll go for it, right? So yeah, I'm going to go to the Caribbean. It'll be a lot of fun. But again, stay tuned, guys. It's a surprise coming soon. Um, I met people that did the Mental Glacier helicopter tour and they were blown away with the experience. It's pretty pricey. It's pretty expensive, John. I think last I checked, I mean, I saw some prices range from like $300, $400 up to 500 per person potentially, right? Depending on when you go. Very pricey, but you pay for that experience, right? Not a lot of people will get to say, hey, I walked on a glacier, right? I walked on a massive glacier in Alaska, right? Not many people get to say that. So it's a pretty cool experience, and some people are willing to pay for the money. And hey, I say go for it. I'm not comfortable going on a helicopter in a glacier. It's just nothing I'll do. I like thrill and adventure, but that's something I won't do. You can put me on a water slide. I'll constantly go on water slides. I'm good with that. Betty, we just booked Ovation of the Seas, which doesn't go to Glacier Bay. Sounds like we'll be going on a second last cruise just for Glacier Bay. Yeah, Betty, and like I said, guys, I've been to Dawes Glacier and to Cutaran more than Glacier Bay. Well, at least I've tried to get to Dawes Glacier more than I've been on Ovation of the Seas 3 times. Wonderful ship. Quantum of the Seas 2 times. Amazing ship. Norwegian Bliss, Norwegian Encore 3 times as well, right? Beautiful ships. But again, the itinerary, again, if you don't go Glacier Bay the first time, that's okay. Go another time, right? I feel like Alaska is one of those regions that, people will want to go back, in my opinion. A lot of the folks that I met on the cruise last week, guys, and people I've talked to since then, they want to go back to Alaska. They want to go back to Glacier Bay because I keep talking about Glacier Bay, right? So they want to go back to Glacier Bay. And I'm like, hey guys, you have a couple of options. Go on the Bliss again if you love it, or late in the season. The Encore goes weekly, or go on the Royal Princess. Again, those 3 ships I know right now are going to Glacier Bay. Other ships I'm not familiar with that are going to Glacier Bay. There's some that go, also some go to Endicott Dawes Glacier, like Celebrity, Royal Caribbean. I think Holland America goes to Hubbard Glacier. Carnival goes to Tracy Arm Fjord, which is totally different. I don't know what kind of glaciers you see there. But yeah, Glacier Bay, if you don't do the first time, don't sweat it. Go next time. You'll love it. But just do Glacier Bay at once in your life. Just trust me, you'll love it. That's all I'm going to say. And again, like I said, the odds are pretty high that you'll make Glacier Bay. Again, the odds of making Glacier Bay, in my opinion, are like 9 out of 10 versus Endicott is like 4 out of 10. And I'm living proof, right? I've been to Dawes Glacier 5 times. I've been there. I've only made it twice though. So there you go. 40%. 40% success, Dawes Glacier. 100% success, Glacier Bay. So yeah. Or $500 now for the helicopter tour. Oh my gosh, John, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking here, guys, because again, I just want to keep swiping on my phone. I'm just looking at my monitor. But again, appreciate the comments. Appreciate the questions, guys. I'm loving this chat so far. So thank you so much for all your engagement and questions. And again, I love it. Vita, you didn't get a mail with the offer to bid for a room, but in my app, I only have options to bid for rooms in Haven with the limit on how I can go. Is that the best I can get, or should I wait for mail? Are you talking about like an upgrade, Vita? I would say if you are comfortable with the bid options for the Haven, then I would say go ahead and do the bid. Just be careful. Like, I mean, I heard some crazy stories that some people like bid higher than other people, but the lower bids won. I don't know how, right? So imagine, let's say it's an example, you have an inside room and you want to get an ocean view room, right? You bid $300, right, for your ocean view room. You don't get it, but then someone who bid $200 got the ocean view room. So I don't know how their system like calculates it or whatever algorithm they use, but it's interesting how that works. But for you, I would say if you get a mail for an upgrade option and you want to go to the Haven and you're willing to spend it, just remember when you do commit to that upgrade bid, if they accept it, there's no backing out, right? You're going to get charged that extra per person price for the Haven. So just something to keep in mind. And again, the Haven is beautiful. I've been there. I've never stayed in the Haven, but I've been to the Haven, and it's really nice. Some people like literally the Haven is a ship within a ship, guys. People who go to the Haven, like don't really leave the Haven. Maybe to go see shows and stuff like that. But the Haven is like it's literally a ship within a ship. You don't have to go anywhere. It's calm. It's peaceful. Very luxurious. It's really nice. I mean, you're paying good money for it, so why would you not want to stay there? You're like, away from the crowds, the noise, the music. Yeah, the Haven is amazing. Have you done the White Pass train excursion, and do you think it's worth the cost? Thomas, I have. I've done it twice. and I made it. I went both times, and I was actually able to go the full route both times. I know they have some limited excursions as well, but is it worth the cost? Absolutely. I talk about the Mendenhall Glacier, but if there's one excursion that I recommend to everyone, like the number one excursion I recommend anyone who goes to Alaska take if they're going to Skagway, is the White Pass Scenic Railway experience. Right, you guys, you're taking this train up 3,000 feet. You got amazing, breathtaking views at every turn, waterfalls, rivers. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So yes, 2 thumbs up. Do the White Pass Scenic Railway. You will not be disappointed. Also, keep in mind, on your way up, sit on the left side of the train. Don't sit on the right side. On the way up, sit on the left side, facing forward, sit on the left side. Going down, if you can, sit on the right side going down if you want those perspectives, or just go outside. I'm actually outside a lot on the train going up and down. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She's like, "Don't fall off." I'm like, "I can't. There's like a railing here." But I'm taking footage and stuff. But getting that fresh air and that experience when you're that high up in the mountains on a train is phenomenal, guys. And again, going through the tunnels and you smell like exhaust and stuff. It's like, ugh, But hey, there's no airflow in the tunnel, so you smell a little gas and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's phenomenal. You guys got to go outside on the train. Trust me, it's pretty cool. Maybe not for a long time if you get cold and whatnot or scared, but just do it for a few seconds or a minute. It's fun. Um, my friend and I are headed to Alaska on Norwegian Encore in October. Angela, woohoo! Thumbs up to you, Angela Davis. You're gonna have an amazing time. And again, you're going in October. Again, I have another friend who's going in October as well. All I can hope is that you guys get snow. It'll be icy, I hope, right? But if it's snowing on the day you go to Glacier Bay, then just get ready for an amazing treat, guys. You're gonna love it. Completely enjoy the Glacier Bay experience, just not the time of the glaciers, but also sailing up and back snow-capped mountains. Yeah. So John, when you went to Glacier Bay, how many glaciers did you visit? I know when we went, every time I've been to Glacier Bay, guys, I've seen three glaciers. I've seen Lamblou Glacier, I've seen Johns Hopkins Glacier, I've seen Marjorie Glacier. I think those are the ones I've seen mostly, but they're massive, right? Johns Hopkins, in my opinion, is the most impressive glacier. Lamblou is a little bit smaller. Marjorie is impressive, but Johns Hopkins is like, wow. It's phenomenal. Most of my footage through Glacier Bay is at Johns Hopkins. So if you guys ever see my videos and stuff, it's Johns Hopkins. Yeah, so there you go, John. Yep, exactly. Lower bids for upgrades can win if the original cabin is more desirable for resale. Thank you, John, for that input and inside information. That's really helpful. Yeah, see, John. So yeah, you guys so here you go. John, he did the Haven just 2 months ago, and he says it's totally worth every penny. You will have an amazing experience. I guarantee it. My wife wants to stay in the Haven too, but then I was like, well, we can totally do that, but we got to actually, I want to take my family on the Encore in like a year or two. I told my wife, hey, I want to take my daughter to Alaska. She's been to Alaska, but not to Glacier Bay. So I'm gonna take her to Glacier Bay because if I keep talking about it, my daughter has to go. So yeah, I'll most likely be on the Encore, or if we go earlier, actually it'll be in the summer, so it's gonna be the Encore, or maybe the Royal Princess. But she's been on the Royal Princess before, so we'll probably do the Encore, just because it's Norwegian. We love Norwegian too. Does being in Haven helps with getting out back and forth? Beta does. I think you do get priority. You get priority check-in, priority disembarkation, and John can confirm this. Yeah, there's a private elevator and all that good stuff. Yeah, you get. Trust me, if you're a Haven guest on Norwegian, you're gonna be like taken care of, like, because they know how much. I mean, you have your own like concierge, you have your own pool, you guys have your own observation lounge. All of us, non-Haven folks, got to go to the observation lounge, deck 15. All the way front is like packed, and on the side of the observation lounge, right? For Haven folks, you guys have this place called the Horizon Lounge, which is its own like awesome observation lounge, which no one has access to except you guys. You guys have special key access to elevators and all this fun stuff, right? So yeah, Haven, if you're thinking about it, I say go for it. It's totally worth it. And again, I personally haven't stayed in it, but I've toured the Haven enough that I know it's amazing. Lucretia, I can see the lure to Haven, but because I'm every event always off the ship, it seems like we'll miss out on offers. Thoughts? Yeah, Lucretia, and that's a good point, right? A lot of folks who are going to be out and about the ship, they may not want to stay in the Haven. The Haven is really kind of its own kind of sanctuary, right? John, would you consider that like a private sanctuary where you can go there and really just kind of get away from everyone, get away from the crowds, get away from the noise? It's a complete relaxation. Now, that being said, if there's certain shows and things that you want to check out, you can. If you want to go off the port, you can do that as well. But when you're back on the ship, you get your exclusive, special, private area all to yourself. And the Haven is like never crowded. So I know for sure the Haven is like sold out every cruise, and I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the Haven. Like, oh, I wish I didn't stay in the Haven, for example, right? So yeah, I think if you go to the Haven, you'll love it no matter what you do. So I think it's worth it. Let's see here. The priorities from vacation. Angela, my mom went on Royal Princess and was disappointed. It was her third princess ship to Alaska. Oh no, Angela, I'm so sorry to hear about that. The Royal Princess. So we went on it back in 2019. It was down to Mexican Riviera, and we actually had a great experience. We loved the ship. It was our first. It was our only princess cruise 4 years ago. It was when my daughter's like I think second or third cruise, but we went down to LA and we had a great time. We thought the food we thought could have been a little bit better, maybe a few more Indian options. We're vegetarian. We love Indian food. Um, I like the Sea Walk, and they had some decent shows. But Princess, whether it's Royal Princess or if it's Discovery Princess, it's not gonna be for everyone, right? So I always recommend to folks, if you want to go to Glacier Bay and you have a family, go on Norwegian, right? If you don't have kids and you want a bit more upscale, elegant experience in away from the cruise line itself in terms of food and that kind of stuff, go on Princess, Royal Princess. Discovery Princess does not go to Glacier Bay. Go on Royal Princess. I kind of wish they flip flop Discovery and Royal, right? Because Discovery Princess is their newest ship, right? So I'm not sure why they don't send that one to Glacier Bay and have Royal Princess go to Endicott Armadas Glacier. But I don't make the itineraries or the call at Princess, right? But hey, I would have loved it if Discovery Princess went to Glacier Bay. But Royal Princess, like I said, we had a good experience, but was it our best cruise experience? No, right? Would I recommend folks go on Royal? Yeah, I mean, like I personally haven't been on Royal Princess to Alaska and Glacier Bay, but I'm sorry to hear, Angela, that your mom didn't have the best experience. Was there something specific about her experience, Angela, that she didn't like? What was it? If you don't mind sharing, we'd love to hear about that, so we can get some input and some feedback. So when we help others, plan their cruise, we can maybe give them some insight. The Haven also has priority seating at the shows. Yeah, John, I think they have like the front 2 or 3 rows or something, right? It's like Haven reserved or Haven preferred, Haven guests only or something, right? So yeah, if you're Haven, you'll be taken care of. Let's just say that. um, John, the crowd is why I get the key. I get inside cabins because I only sleep and get dressed there, but I want the perks of the higher cabin. Exactly, Lucretia. Yeah, that makes sense. And Lucretia, I'll mention this in my upcoming videos on Sunday. So you guys know a little inside information. I'm releasing my full Norwegian Bliss cruise ship tour tomorrow. So for all the folks who are online today, get ready for a ship tour from me tomorrow, right? So that's gonna be my first official kind of kickoff to my Norwegian Bliss video series. I know I released one yesterday about the Norwegian Bliss and the encore meeting in Juneau, Alaska. But that was like a 3-minute video, right? That was just for fun. But my Norwegian Bliss ship tour is coming out tomorrow. And on Sunday, my inside room tour. You guys, I stayed in my first ever inside cabin, my first ever true inside cabin. I stayed in a inside like virtual balcony, which is like, it's the inside room where you get that TV screen and stuff. But I stayed in my first ever inside room, guys. And let me tell you guys, I was okay with it. I was like, man, this is not bad. I was like, I saved a lot of money, got a great deal. I got a better deal on my inside room than what the studio was offering. Studio was more expensive than my inside room, so it's bigger. I got more space, bigger bathroom. It just felt like a regular room. So inside room I recommend, and again, you'll see this in my video. I recommend it for like a couple and maybe a family, a small family, like maybe like an infant or maybe a toddler, maybe. But there's no sofa bed. It's very small, guys. So I do not recommend more than 2 people. 2 people max in the inside room. And again, there's different configurations that you can look at, but just make sure you look at the room layout before you book an inside room. I was okay with the inside room. I have 3 more cruises this summer, guys. I got 2 balconies and 1 more inside room. So I'm doing 2 inside rooms this summer and 2 balconies. Kind of, we always do balconies minimum, right? So I wanted to try an inside room and I got a good deal. So why not? Angela Davis, several things. She said the food wasn't as good as they did, and they didn't have afternoon tea. Oh, that, yeah. See, that's a bummer to hear, Angela. Yeah, the food is subjective. Like there's certain food and dishes that won't be, tolerable to certain people. Some people come back from a cruise like, oh my God, I love the food. Some people are like, yeah, it was okay. Some people are like, oh, it's terrible, right? So I think it really varies based on what they're eating. And for me, I had to be a bit more selective because I'm vegetarian, right? So when I was on Princess cruises in 2019 on the Royal Princess, they have a couple of food areas. They have like a Horizon Court, and this is another food court. Again, I mean, hopefully I'll get to go on it again at some point. Basically, they have a couple of places to eat, right? So the food was not up to par, at least in my experience, 4 years ago when I went on Princess. But again, if I go on Princess again, I'll be sure to let you guys know my thoughts, right? So stay tuned. I'm not sure I gave away, but stay tuned, guys. Yeah, I have to add the extra time just for elevators. Yeah, oh yeah, I think the Haven elevators, John. Now, John, let me ask you this: the Haven elevators that you took, you have to swipe with your room key card, right? And I'm sure the elevators like never packed, right? Because there's just not a lot of people going up and down the elevators at the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. How was your Haven elevator experience on the Norwegian Bliss? Because I've never done the Haven elevators. I've seen the Haven. I've been to the Haven. I've seen the Haven elevator. I haven't never taken the Haven elevator. But it sounds amazing, right? Like I said, guys, Norwegian Bliss is an amazing ship. If you're currently watching this or you're gonna watch it on replay, don't be like, oh no, we're going on the Bliss to Endicott Dawes Glacier. That's okay. It's not a bad itinerary, guys. My only thing is just get your expectations set, right? So basically, if you go to Endicott Arm, there's a chance you may not see Dawes Glacier. If you do see Dawes Glacier, it's going to be very far away. Now you can pay $250 a person or $200 because you get that $50 shore excursion credit and take a little boat to go close to the glacier, and that's your up close experience to the glacier. But that's $200 a person. If you have a family of 4 or 5, that's like $1,000, right? So something to keep in mind. Glacier Bay, you don't do anything. You just stay on the ship. Ship spins it around, and I love what Norwegian does. Like they spun the ship so many times. I was like, man, I love these captains. Like I love the staff. Like the cap. I was like waving to the captain or someone on the bridge. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you for you know, spinning the ship in circles because we got so many perspectives on each side of the ship. It was phenomenal, guys. I can't tell you. I can't emphasize enough how amazing Glacier Bay is. The Haven provides a concierge that takes you to the crew spaces for a dedicated elevator. Nice, John. John, I don't know if you have like footage or any pictures or anything that you can share with me, but I'd love to kind of see that because I personally haven't seen it. I know I can YouTube it as well, but I mean, I'd love to see kind of from your perspective and your eyes. You have a balcony stateroom. Oh, sorry, it disappeared. I have a balcony stateroom, and we'll be bidding on a spa club balcony suite. And that's is that on the Bliss, Angela? Oh, the Encore. That's right. You're going on the Encore. Yeah, go for it. You know, the balcony stateroom and a spa balcony suite. I don't think the actual room is that different. I've seen the mini suites. They call them mini suites, but the room is the same size. The bathroom is a little bit bigger. Has a tub. I think the balcony itself is the same, but you get special access to the spa, right? Right. So you get access to the spa every day. I believe. I think that's what the spa balcony gives you that the regular balcony doesn't. But the room itself, Angela, I think is the same size. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I remember when my wife and I, my daughter, my family, we went on the Norwegian Escape, right? We got a large ocean view balcony room, right? It was a nice room with a big balcony, and I saw this like balcony mini suite. I'm like, what's this mini suite thing? I'm like, wait a minute, it's a mini suite, but the square footage is the exact same. What? Usually suites are bigger, right? So yeah. Supposedly a double swipe with a Haven keyboard turns any elevator into express elevator. We'll test in October on the Bliss. Awesome, Thomas. But yeah, let me know how that works. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, it just takes you directly to where you want to go, right? You want the thermal spa experience. Yeah, Angela. Excuse me, guys. I think so the thermal spa, I know they have that thermal spa pass for the whole week. Right now, one of my friends who I got to meet on board the ship, she was celebrating her birthday. She was trying to get a day pass. Unfortunately, they don't have day thermal passes, right? You either buy the whole week one or you don't go, I guess, right? So I was kind of surprised about that. I think Norwegian should really open up single day passes because a lot of people, I mean, the week price is $150, unlimited usage of the spa thermal suite, right? If you go for a day, they might charge you 30, $40 maybe, right? Maybe more, $50, right? So if you book the whole week, you're gonna get a better deal, plain and simple, right? The longer you book, the better deal you're gonna get on a per day basis, right? Um, Sorry for beating Haven. I have offer for forward facing, not aft. My current room is on deck 14, aft versus forward facing. So one thing about the forward-facing rooms, and again, the Haven is all the way forward. We know that it's on the highest one of the highest decks, all the way forward, right? The only downside of the Haven being all the way forward is that you would feel more motion of the ocean, right? So if you hit rough seas, you'll feel it more in the Haven, right? So you have deck 14. So your current room is deck 14 aft. Oh, if you're in the aft, then hey, so you do have to walk all the way across the ship, which is unfortunate to get to the Haven amenities, right? So the deck 14 aft facing balcony is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I know people have stayed there. I think John, I don't know if you stayed in the aft facing balcony, John, but I know people have stayed in the Haven aft facing balconies and they loved it, right? The only downside is you have to literally walk the whole ship to get to the Haven, right? So I was talking to my wife, and I was like, if we're gonna stay in the Haven, we're gonna stay in like proper Haven. Like she's like, I'm not walking across the ship, right, to go to the Haven. I'm like, okay. So if we ever stay in the Haven, it'll be literally in the Haven, like that courtyard and all that kind of stuff, right? So because like it's nice to have the aft view from the ship, but then you have to make that long trek back and forth, which is, I mean, if you don't mind walking, it's cool, and it's just very long. So that's something to keep in mind. Yes, they should have day passes. I agree, Angela. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out that my friend couldn't go on to the day passes. And again, for me, I mean, I'm not really a big thermal suite kind of guy. I mean, I like him, right? But I don't get massages and I don't do all the spa stuff, right? For me, my best day, I would say, was when we were in Ketchikan, Alaska, and everyone like was off the ship. I shared a picture on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. There was literally no one on the ship. Like the pool deck was empty. It was just me and my bartender friend, and he made me a Bloody Mary. He gave me a bushwhacker, and like I had like the drinks just going, right. I kept going to the hot tub, back down the stairs, grab my drink, back up the stairs, in the hot tub, back to get a drink. I went to the pool. I went on the water slides. You know, getting off the ship, also for folks who've never been to Alaska, is a must, right? Because you want to experience the port and go on your excursion. But if you can, staying on the ship during port days is not bad, guys, because it's empty and you get the whole ship to yourself. It's kind of cool. Haven is aft or facing forward? Beta, it's forward. Haven is forward. Now, Haven, the proper Haven is all the way forward. I think it's on deck 17. The whole area of the Haven is in the forward of the ship, top deck. But the Haven also has some rooms that are in the back of the ship, right? A couple of rooms that are in the back of the ship. And for folks who book those rooms, they get nice room, suite, balcony, and all that good stuff. But they do have to walk all the way forward to get to the Haven. So yeah. If you didn't get it, it will be my first cruise ever. No, beta, totally okay. This is why we're here, guys. Again, this live is for, again, I love that we've kind of kept it Norwegian focused and Norwegian Bliss focused, Encore focused, right? Glacier Bay, Alaska, right? Because that's what this Q&A is all about. It's to answer your Bliss questions, Haven questions. Do you guys have any questions about the food? What was my favorite food or dining, entertainment? Let me know if you guys have any questions, because I have about 15 minutes left before I gotta hop off. So let me know if you have any other questions about anything else on the Bliss, guys. Normally I like to go longer for an hour, but I try to keep the ones from home at least an hour. Maybe from the ship I go longer, right? So you guys probably saw my lives. Like I did a couple lives on the Bliss last week. I was on for like over 2 hours. Like each one was at least an hour. Some were an hour and a half. Some were, I think I did 2 or 3 that were like 2 hours. John knows about it. Lucretia knows about it. I think some other folks out here were on those lives. I was on for a long time, just kind of going from bar to bar or walking around the ship. It was fun, guys. I miss it. I can't believe it's been like only 6 days or 5 days. Oh, it was such a good time, guys. And again, thank you for everyone who came and followed along. It was a blast. John, forward is much better than aft for Haven. Oh yeah, John. Like I said, if I stay in the Haven, we're staying in Haven. There's a few times that my wife will stay forward, and I will stay forward if it's where the Haven is, or if that's where the only room that we want is, right? When we were on the Norwegian Escape, we got a large balcony ocean view room. It was only available forward, not all the way forward, but forward, like midship forward, kind of, not midship, but a little bit kind of middle towards the front. And at night, we could feel like the ship was moving. I'm like, okay, like that's, and then it was like, wait, my wife's like, oh my god, John, we're never doing forward again. I'm like, okay, fine. So we don't, no more forward ships for my family and I. We always do midship aft because she just doesn't like the feeling of the boat or the ship. The boat is what they have on the sides. I always joke around with people like, hey, how big is a boat? And I'm like they don't know. It's a ship. The boat is what happens if the ship went down or something. So yeah, the orange boats, but yeah, the ship. Angela, I've been on a cruise to Alaska, so it's okay with me if you don't get off the ship. We plan to walk around town in June. Yeah, Angela, that's a wonderful idea. There's some cool places around Juneau. I don't know if you guys like crab. There's like I think Tracy's Crab Shack is there. We like to take a little stroll and go up the tram, right? If you're not afraid of heights, it's pretty awesome as well. So yeah, Alaska, Juneau's a great place. I like to kind of walk around and kind of explore the town and kind of see the sights and sounds without doing any excursions. Because I've done the glaciers, I've done the whale watching, I've done all that kind of stuff, right? So on to Alaska. For now, when you guys see me go on cruises, especially to Alaska, I got 2 more Alaska cruises this summer, guys, and I'd love to take you with me. Just join my lives, and then I'll put all my videos and vlogs and all that stuff after I get back. But I got 2 more cruises to Alaska, and I'm waiting for the ship, right? I have no plans to get off at any port except to take pictures and videos of the ship that I'm on. So again, they're different ships. It's not Norwegian, right? So again, I'll keep it a surprise, but stay tuned. Favorite bar and favorite getaway spot on the Bliss. So favorite bar, hands down, Sugarcane Mojito Bar. That is on deck 8. So Sugarcane Mojito Bar, if anyone's going on the Bliss on this chat or watching the replay, go to the Sugarcane Mojito Bar on the Norwegian Bliss and go say hi to Alejandro and Marcial and tell them JT says hello. They'll remember me because they're on my lives like multiple times. So Sugarcane Mojito Bar, #1 bar, and favorite getaway place, I would say there's 2 spots. One is that little secret spot that I mentioned, I think, on the last day, which is deck 17 or deck 17 or 16 forward near the entrance of the Vibe Beach Club. Folks don't know about that, but basically there's like these nice lounges with like cushions and stuff. You go to it's port side all the way forward, deck 16 or 17. You walk up the stairs. It's near the laser tag area, right? And it's quiet, it's peaceful. You get away from all that. Like you guys, the last day was so loud on the pool deck. It was packed. Like it was so packed. I have like pictures and videos you'll see in my vlogs. Oh my god. But I found a little secret spot. So that's one of them. My other favorite secret spot is deck 8 aft. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't go and walk around the waterfront in the back of the ship, right? They go to the waterfront on the sides where the restaurants and bars are. But at the back of the ship, guys, and John knows this, and Lucretia and the folks who join my lives, you get an amazing view of the aft, and you get the sounds of the ocean. Like I love the sound of that. This is what I'm talking about, guys. So deck 8 on Norwegian Bliss, Norwegian Encore, or Norwegian Joy, right? Those Breakaway Plus class ships. You go to deck 8 aft, you can get sounds of that beautiful ocean, the beautiful wake, and it's so relaxing because I would literally just stand there. I wish they had chairs there, but I just stand there, I just kind of close my eyes like this, and I just kind of take deep breaths. And I actually share this with my viewers, and John, I think you remember this, and Lucretia possibly as well. But like, close your eyes as you're at the back of the ship looking at the wake, right? Close your eyes for like 20 seconds, take a deep breath, and then open your eyes. And then right there, that first second or 2 seconds, that feeling you get about life and just everything that you're looking at, the ocean, like nothing else matters in life. It's the most like relaxing feeling you'll ever have. I kid you not. Just try that. Go to the wake, go to deck 8 aft on the Norwegian Bliss or the Encore. Okay, you got the sounds, right? Close your eyes for 20 seconds, open them, take a deep breath, and tell me how you feel because I do that every day. It's the best. All right, guys, let me catch up on the comments as well. But yeah, Thomas, hopefully that helps, right? Sugarcane Mojito Bar, deck 16 forward, port side, peaceful area next to the Vibe Beach Club, and deck 8 aft. He was trying to get it from NCL chat, but didn't answer. Is in-room dining included in Haven? I believe I think it's okay. Well, there you go. John just answered it. It's complimentary. Thank you, John. John is your Haven expert. So guys, John Clark, again, YouTube member, shout out. Lucretia, YouTube member, shout out as well. Again, you guys probably wondering what's the YouTube member. So you guys probably seen a pinned message on this chat. So YouTube membership and Patreon membership, again, real quickly, is a way for you to support your favorite creators additionally monthly. It's like $5 a month, $10 a month, right? You get behind the scenes access to JT. I provide updates that I don't provide anywhere else. I ask you guys for videos, feedback, and you guys insight information that no one else sees. So if you want to become a Patreon member or YouTube member, check out that link. It's pinned on the chat. But yeah, again, you also get these cool little stars. If you're a YouTube member, you get these cool little stars next to your name. So John Clark has a little star. Lucretia has a little star. And again, thank you guys for your support. You're awesome. Yeah, so John Clark is very, very knowledgeable. Not only is he supporting me as a YouTube member, but he's super knowledgeable about cruising in general, but also Norwegian Bliss. He's a great guy. John, I hope I get to meet you one day, man. It'd be a pleasure to meet you and just have a drink and just a dinner. I would love to meet you. Two Johns connecting, right? My name is John, but my initials are JT, right? So, yeah. Perfect. Because of you, I always walk the aft at night. Best place to be. Yeah, Lucretia, yeah. And you guys, and Lucretia said it perfectly. The wake is beautiful during the day, right? But at nighttime, what I like to do, and again, this is a tradition I do every time. On this one, not because they have late night pizza, but after I eat like at the local bar and grill, or if I have like a big dinner, like at nighttime, I'll go to the back of the ship, I'll go to the aft, and I'll look up and I'll see the stars. And I'll see the night sky and the stars. And actually, deck 8 aft is where I was looking for the northern lights, right? So for the folks who are going to on the Bliss or the Encore later this year, make sure you get the Aurora app and keep an eye on the forecast, because if you're lucky enough, if you get great weather, good strong Aurora forecast, and you go to the right dark spot like the aft on the Bliss or Encore, you might have a chance to see the northern lights. And I've seen them before in Alaska. It was on a different ship, but it was phenomenal. Are the rooms in Haven ready sooner, and can you walk up just after entering the ship? Yeah, B, that's a great question. I think they do prioritize the Haven rooms. John, correct me if I'm wrong. So I was actually talking to some people in the check-in line outside the cruise terminal, right? And they were Haven folks, right? I was just talking to them, got to know about who, let them know who I am and learn more about them and where they're from. It was their first Alaska cruise. They like Norwegian, but it was their first Alaska cruise. So, anyways, they're staying in the Haven, right? So as the doors opened to the terminal, they went to the Haven area. I went to my regular line because I'm not Haven, right? And they literally went to the Haven check-in line, and they disappeared like within like a minute. And I'm like, 20, 30 folks in front of me. I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? So yeah, Haven, you get a lot of benefits, a lot of perks. If you're thinking about doing the Haven, if you can afford it, hey, go for it. Like I said, I want to do Haven one day. I think what I might do, it's funny. Like I talked earlier in this chat about taking my wife and daughter to Glacier Bay on the Encore, right? So I might have to like find a summer itinerary where I want to actually. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I would like to take them, to the Haven, maybe, right? If the price is right, I will go to the Haven. It'll be in the forward of the ship, right? Because the Haven, you got to stay in the forward if you can. So, because that's like you want to be if you're in the Haven, you want to be in the middle of it all. You want to walk outside your go to the courtyard, go to the Haven restaurant, go see the concierge, go to the Haven in the Horizon Lounge. You want to be very close to all the amenities and things that the Haven offers. So that's why I recommend forward of the ship. If you don't try not to get the Haven in the back, just because you got to walk all the way across the ship. So um, let's see. Mr. Haven says the room was ready immediately upon boarding. We got a priority waiting room and a dedicated elevator on the ship during embarkment. There you go. See, John. John, you could probably write up a blog about or an article about what to think about when it comes to Haven. So you're like our Haven guru, right? So because you've experienced it, right? Now, John, let me ask you this, John. Was this your first time staying in the Haven? And two, would you stay in it again? Because it is pricey, right? But would you stay in the Haven again? And was it your first time? I'd love to hear from you on that. Um, hey guys, about 5 minutes or so left, and we're gonna wrap it up. But again, awesome, awesome live. Again, shout out to everyone who came out today. You guys, make sure you hit that like button. YouTube loves that stuff, right? The algorithm and everything. And if you're not subscribed, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button as well, guys. I just hit 3,500 today. Oh yeah, you guys, that's awesome, right? So I had 3,500 subscribers on YouTube today, which is awesome because it's the fastest I've grown ever, right? From like my previous milestone, right? So I hit 3,000, I think like a month or two ago, month and a half ago, and I'm at 3,500 now. So, and I think this is because of the content I'm pushing out, the live streams that I do, and I think folks are just excited about Alaska, and I'm putting out some other types of videos as well, not only ship tours but room tours and reviews and news and all that kind of stuff. So, thanks guys for helping me get to 3,500 subscribers. I would like to keep growing slowly but surely, right? So, thank you for your support. It means the world to me. Thank you. Um, Haven is too rich for my blood. Oh, Angela, yeah, it's for a lot of folks, right? Haven is expensive, right? You gotta pay some big dollars for that stuff. So, Lakeisha, John Clark, you're selling me on the Haven. Yeah, like I said, you guys, the Haven is totally worth it. I mean, if you go to the Haven, like I said, see, the Haven is like one of those places where you can just go and chill. You can just chill out, like you don't have to go anywhere on the ship. Like a lot of times you're on the ship, you're kind of walking around or the atrium or the bars, and the places are packed. But if you don't want to be around all those folks and just want to have a relaxing experience, then the Haven is not a bad area. But of course, you can always stay in your room, right? But you want to be out. You want to be out and about the ship, kind of exploring, right? The observation lounge is packed. John, did the Horizon Lounge ever get packed? The Haven has a special lounge called the Horizon Lounge. John, how was your experience in the Horizon Lounge? Was it ever busy? Were you able to get a seat whenever you wanted? And how is the food quality, the kind of light bites and drinks and food that you get? How did that compare to the Observation Lounge, which I'm guessing you may or may not have checked out? If I was a Haven guest, I probably would never go to the Observation Lounge just because like I have my own space. I'm paying for it. I'm gonna stay here. So Lakeisha, yeah, keep on growing. Yeah, thanks so much, Lakeisha. I appreciate your support. And again, shout out to you again for being an awesome YouTube member as well. May was my first time in the Haven, and I would do it again without a thought, even though I could do 2-3 cruises in the balcony room. Yeah, so there you go, right? So that's kind of like a little price perspective from John, right? So, a balcony room, like, say if I do solo, it's like 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2,000, right? But a Haven is like 2-3 times that price, right? So you're definitely paying for the Haven experience. It's luxury, amenities, and the experience you get, right? And of course the onboard experiences and there's a lot of perks that come with it. So if you pay, hey, the price is right, anything is possible. It also has a dedicated bar with the best bartenders on the ship. Nice, John. That's awesome, John. I want to know like that. I think the best bartenders on the ship are Alejandro and Marcial at the Sugarcane Mojito Bar. But I would love to see the bartenders in the Haven if I ever stay in the Haven. So hopefully, maybe one day we'll do the Haven. I know my wife really wants to do one of those like Crown Lost suites on like an Oasis class ship, and we'll get there eventually, right? So, I mean, we actually had a book, but then we changed our vacation. Right, we went to Hawaii instead of Oasis of the Seas. Um, Hoping not as many people will be going last in October. LOL. And I was like, yeah, that's interesting. When I went in October 2021, that was the first year of the restart. So we had on the last cruise to Alaska, and I kid you not, it was the Encore was the only ship in Alaska. There were no other ships in Alaska at the time, right? So we were literally the last ship in Alaska, and out of 4,100 people, we had 2,500. So about 60%, but that's only because it was reduced capacity. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be reduced capacity. People are going to Alaska like crazy. So if I had to predict, I think it'll be sold out. But it's October, so people may not want to go. What I heard also, and maybe John can confirm. John, was your sailing in May or April 29th? Was it sold out? Like, was it fully packed? Because I know the first cruise, April 15th, April 22nd, it was not. It was too early for Alaska, I guess, right? But they still went, and the ship was not. It was not 100% capacity. So there you go. Maybe you might get lucky, Angela, and it's not 100% capacity. I hope not. That'd be cool. Anytime you can empty your ship, guys, it's phenomenal. Like when I went with 2,500 people, I loved it. Let's see here. We'll travel with young kids, 4, 7 years old. Is Haven good for kids? I think Haven is good for kids. I mean, the thing is that they don't have any kid specific areas. But if you are a family that wants to kind of get away from all the noise and all the craziness that these ships offer, the Haven is not a bad area too. But just keep in mind that you want to make sure your kids are kind of quiet in the Haven because people pay good money for peace and quiet. So um, maybe you can. Like I said, I've never been to the Haven with kids, so I can't speak from experience. But John, did you see kids? Did you see families with kids in the Haven, John? John's like our Haven guy. John's like the star of this live because he's answering all these Haven questions for me because he has so much more knowledge than I do about the Haven, right? So because he stayed in it, he literally was just there 2 months ago. Haven's amazing, but in terms of kids, I think it's fine. But again, you might have to be a little bit more quieter just because it's the Haven, right? So it's really like kind of like a ship within a ship and more of a calm, elegant, luxury, relaxation experience. Compared to where else on the ship is like loud and whatever. Let's see here. Is Haven better for Alaska or Caribbean? That's a great question, Lucretia. I know that's for John, but I mean, I think the Haven is good anywhere, honestly. Like, with Alaska, you get the amazing, panoramic views of, the glaciers. And again, if you go to Glacier Bay, you'll see the amazing glaciers, right? So I personally would pick the Haven for Alaska just because it's Alaska and you're gonna get some epic views. Like, I use epic for the first time. Yeah, you can get amazing views, guys, going to Alaska. If you stay in the Haven, you can show them Private Horizon Lounge. It's phenomenal. They're between 4,200 and 44 people in the beginning of May. Depending on who I ask, and both over capacity. Exactly. Yeah. So they're selling out. So Angela, like I said, fingers crossed that your cruise is not 100%. Um, all right, guys. Doing a quick time check. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here pretty soon. But again, this has been a really fun and engaging conversation. Again, shout out to everyone that came on today. John, thank you for being Mr. Haven and answering all these questions. Like, you're so knowledgeable. Like I said, you have so much knowledge on the Haven, which is awesome, man. Um, let's see here. Let's see if you took pictures and videos. Okay, awesome. Thanks, John. Thank you so much for doing that. 10 families were there with kids and they spent a lot of time in the pool. Well, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question, Vita. There are families with kids, so don't worry if you have kids. You go to the Haven. They're in the pool. They're probably not as like loud and stuff like they're on the pool deck. Like on the pool deck, like it gets loud, right? Because there's music, people in the pool. The pools are hopping. The kid, you have the adults. So the adults only pool. There were kids in the adults only pool. I'm like, how does that happen? No one's like enforcing it. Okay. But then you have the kids pool, and that one had only kids, right? But don't be surprised if you see some kids in an adults only pool. Something to keep in mind. um, yeah, exactly. I agree, John. Yeah, Haven. Like I said, if you can afford the Haven and you want to experience it, I personally would recommend Alaska over the Caribbean because I think Alaska's gonna give you the more epic views of the mountains and the glaciers, and plus you could be indoors because Alaska is colder, right? So you want to be indoor more, and I think the Haven is probably really good for that. For the waterfront, I think the Caribbean is probably better. The days that we had nice weather in Alaska last week, I was out there on the waterfront. We did sail away from the waterfront. We did Victoria from the waterfront, and some other sail aways from the waterfront. But it's not packed when it was cloudy and raining because it's cold, right? And also on the last day, you guys probably remember, one side of the ship, the waterfront had sun on it, and everyone was there. The other side of the ship, it was shaded and it was cold. Like the temperature difference was crazy, like sun and no sun. I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to the sun because I was wearing shorts and a shirt. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, like I said, appreciate your time today. Thank you for all the amazing conversation, all the engaging questions of the Norwegian Bliss. Like I said, you guys, my honest review of the Norwegian Bliss will be coming out soon. My plan is to get my ship tour is coming out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Definitely check out my ship tour tomorrow. My room tour will come out on Sunday, and then I think my honest review of the Norwegian Bliss, and I'm talking about everything like my dining review, my entertainment review, my onboard activities experience, and just overall crew, staff, itinerary, everything. Right? I'm gonna have my footage and my honest review, which will come your way most likely next week, and I'm gonna take a little pause. I'll be going on a cruise, which I'll be making more content for. So my daily vlogs for Norwegian Bliss probably won't come out until after I get back from my next cruise. I got a lot of content to get out to you guys, and again, my goal is to get you guys informed, educated, and just entertained and excited about going on the Norwegian Bliss, right? So stay tuned, guys. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, John. Thank you, Lucretia. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Vito. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everyone that came on today. Again, I'm sure I've missed some other folks. Hit that like button, guys. Again, shout out to you guys for coming on this hour live. Again, lives go by so quickly, but I do have to be somewhere. So I'm also otherwise I'd go longer, like on a cruise ship. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. There's some exciting stuff coming. Just like I said, pay attention to my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and you'll see some cool stuff coming up in the very, very near future. But again, ship tour tomorrow of the Norwegian Bliss, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you get a chance to watch it. It's about 35 minutes or so long, so it's not crazy long, right? So it's just tolerable. But yeah, guys, appreciate your time today. And again, thank you for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed this new backdrop. Again, shout out to my sister for surprising this for me. For those who don't know, my sister surprised me with this new this backdrop when I got back from my cruise. So yeah, first YouTube live stream with that. Hope you guys like it. I want to say bye to Coco, bye Coco the bear, and hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday evening. And JT will talk to you soon. And again, any other questions you have, guys, feel free to reach out. Instagram, Facebook. I'm always happy to answer questions whenever you guys need them about Alaska or anything else. So thanks, Keisha, for the hearts. I'm so bad at doing this. A heart. There you go. Hearts to you guys and everyone. All right, guys. Until next time, take care. And this is Cruising with JT. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.